yes, we finally moved into our new place. Just trying to move the Lowrider S to a better spots, because today's video is all about the Lowrider S. I've done a few new things to it, added some things, changed some things, and I want to test it out. So okay, so I have been trying to make this video for like 2 weeks now, but I'm having audio issues with the helmet. I think it's more the helmet than anything. I've placed my mic in that helmet everywhere. But anyways, today we're gonna talk about the Harley Davidson quarter fairing. Now, I'm just gonna say this first. If you own a Lowrider S and you believe in comfort, right? I believe this should be the first thing you do. Performance is great, yeah, this thing is great by itself, stock. Besides maybe getting some louder pipes on it, but that's gonna be like second for me, or third or fourth down the line. This was very important to me because riding on the highway is very difficult when you only have a speed screen. It virtually blocks no wind, and obviously I'm getting that bobblehead. It's hard for me to focus on the road, being that my head is just being pushed everywhere by the wind. So if you're gonna be doing some upgrades, if you ask me, this should be the first thing you do, a quarter fairing. So it's super easy to put on. It's the bracket and then the quarter fairing. It's held on by rubber grommets. I'll get into that here in a few minutes. But I think all together, putting the actual bracket on and then putting the quarter fairing together, which just consists of these bolts putting on the actual glass or plexiglass screen here, maybe an hour. Only reason it took me an hour because I kept messing up and not putting the washers properly on here. But the bracket's super easy. The instructions suck, by the way. The instructions were great when it comes to taking off the speed screen. There's a diagram and there's step-by-step instructions like written down. But when it comes to the bracket itself, it's only a diagram. I could not find anything written down, but again, that's fine because it's super easy. It goes on one way, really, that makes sense. So, okay, so listen, when it comes to performance, let me say, like, this thing is night and day from the speed screen that comes on it. That speed screen virtually blocks zero wind, okay? Now, if you're with that naked bike thing, you'll love it. You'll probably keep it or take it off, whatever. But for me, it's all about comfort, driving down the highway. Again, I just got tired of that bobblehead feeling. This thing's amazing. Like, it's so good. And I'm not just talking about the Harley Davidson quarter fairing. I'm just talking about a quarter fairing in general, okay? The quarter fairing is so good that now I literally do not have to wipe bugs off of my helmet visor. Like, I'm loving that fact because I just had to replace the visor because I was wiping it down so much that I scratched a lot. But now, with having a quarter fairing, I virtually never wipe down my helmet visor at all. Only if it gets a little dusty and I'm just doing a quick little wipe down with a little microfiber cloth. But man, it performs great. Now, I have to mention the only thing that I don't like about it. And it's a really big deal. It truly is a big deal. Being that it's so easy to put on, like literally there's 4 rubber grommets that hold this thing on. Like, just pops in like this and it's held on. Now, it's secure, but the way you take it off is literally the reverse of how you put it on. By pushing it in, you just pull it out. There's no safety pin, no safety mechanism that holds this thing on. It's just held on by rubber grommets. Now, obviously, I've read forums, I've seen videos to where people were saying that they went to their Harley dealership and there's some E-clips or something. To me, that's silly that I have to go buy something like that. Like, it's an afterthought. And that's the one thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way about this. Not the performance. The performance of this thing is great. It blocks a perfect amount of wind for me. I'm a short guy, I'm 5'5", it's perfect, right? Now, obviously, if you're taller than me, I say if you're 6 foot, you're gonna need something bigger than this because it's not gonna block much wind. It's gonna probably push it right to your neck or right into the windshield of your helmet. But that's the only thing that sucks. Now, the only reason I went out and purchased this quarter fairing is really because I'm impatient and I needed something quick because I'm trying to take a little road trip here soon. Where, that's to be determined. But I am wanting to take a good maybe 2-3 hour road trip. And honestly, I've been on this bike riding down to San Francisco. That's like a 50-minute ride. It's unbearable because of the crosswinds. And this thing's not gonna do anything for crosswinds. But if you factor in the crosswinds and the headwinds, it's unbearable. Like I can deal with crosswinds, but the headwind is just ridiculous without having a quarter fairing. But yes, listen, here's what I recommend. If you're impatient like me, I say go down to Harley Davidson and grab one of these. You won't really regret it because it's easy and it does its job very well and it looks great, right? But if you want something secure, I would go with something like a Memphis Shade. They have a totally different like bracket system that holds the freaking fairing on a lot better than what this one does. Again, that's my only complaint about it, but it's a big complaint because someone, if they know what this is, they pop it right off and they're gone. Would I recommend this fairing? Yes, if you're impatient, I would recommend this fairing. It's great. Build quality is pretty good. But if you have the time to wait, I would say go with an aftermarket one, just because then you don't have to worry about the security of this thing being pulled off of your motorcycle. And to be honest, someone can go steal this right now and go buy a $100 bracket kit and they have a $350 fairing they didn't pay for. So there's gonna be a lot of new upgrades. Now I'm gonna be focusing on comfort for the most part initially. So there's gonna be some highway pegs. I'll probably end up changing these to LED lights here, the front turn signals. What else would I want to do? I want to get a 2-up seat, but that might come later. I will, maybe the next model I'll do is actually cruise control, because that's kind of important. This gets tiring after a while holding it in one spot. So, hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll check you guys in the next video.